Hi, this is our last video in Numbers in Science, Unit 2, and we're going to talk about dimensional analysis today. Now this is a really important, powerful tool for solving problems in any science class that you may take. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be converting from one unit to another. Now when we were using our prefixes, we were doing some dimensional analysis, so we're using the same process. So first of all, we've got an equivalence statement or a conversion factor. These will always be given to you. So in other words, there are 2.54 centimeters in an inch. You don't have to have that memorized. You will always be provided that information. But it's called an equivalence statement. And so what we can do with this is we can say that there is 2.54 centimeters and then put 1 inch in the denominator. Or we can flip it around and say that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. The way that we display our units will depend on how we're trying to do conversions. So I think the best thing to do is just to start with a problem. So if you have a pencil that is 7 inches long and you want to know what the length is in centimeters, we're going to need to use that conversion factor. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with what's given. So we're going to start with 7 inches. Write your number and write your unit. Now we don't want inches anymore. We're going to draw our little equivalence box here. We don't want inches, so that unit's going to go in the denominator so that it will cancel. What we want is centimeters. And we have this equivalence statement or our conversion factor right here. Now you have to be careful. Make sure that the number in front of centimeters stays with it. So 2.54 centimeters, so the 2.54 goes here because there are 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. Now you just do the math. 7 times 2.54 is equal to 17.8 centimeters. Now let's just double check our significant figures. What we're doing here is we're multiplying, so we're going to count how many sig figs at each number. We have 3 here. These trailing zeros count because there's a decimal present. And then there are 3 here. There should be 3 in our answer. So we have that problem completed. So hopefully you filled out the guided notes and did this problem along with me. Let's go to number 2. We would like to buy a bicycle that has a 25.5 inch frame, but the catalog where we're ordering our bicycle from only has the sizes in centimeters. So we need to convert 25.5 inches into centimeters. Start with what's given. Number, unit. I'm going to abbreviate inches, just IN. Put up our equivalence box. We're going to put inches down here. This is in the numerator, this is in the denominator, and they cancel. And we want centimeters up here. It's what we want, it's in our numerator. We have the same equivalence statement from the last slide. There are 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. And this answer in centimeters, let's see, is 64.8 centimeters. Okay, so again, start with what's given. Let your units tell you where to put your unit down here and where your numbers go up here. The number stays with the unit. And we solved another problem. Number 3. We're going to need some additional conversion factors, and again, they're always provided. A meter is 1.094 yards, and 1,760 yards are in a mile. All right, if a student runs a 10.0 kilometer race, how many miles did she run? Well, let's go ahead and start with the 10 kilometers. And we're going to write up our equivalence box here, And we know that kilometers needs to go down here, so it will cancel. We want to end up with miles, but we don't have any equivalence between kilometers and miles. That information just wasn't provided. We're going to have to go through more than one step. Well, I do know about a meter is 1.094 yards. So maybe I can put my meter there. And we learned in our prefix unit, and we did need to have this memorized, that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Okay, now our unit is meters, but we don't want meters, so we're going to put that in the denominator. And we know that there is, from this conversion, 1.094 yards in a meter. Oh, I don't want yards, I want miles, and so that's where I'm going to use this conversion factor. We're going to put, the meters have now canceled. We're going to put yards in the denominator and miles in the top, because that's what we want. 1 mile is 1,760 yards. The unit that we want is in the numerator, so that's good. And all the other units have canceled. The units just kind of help you work through a problem. It's like solving a puzzle and putting the pieces in the right place. When you put this in your calculator, you're going to put in 10 times 1,000 times 1.094 divided by 1,760. The reason you do the divided by here is because that 1,760 yards is in the denominator. We only had 3 significant figures given to us. This is an exact number, so it has infinite significant figures, so that's not going to limit us. We're going to have our answer to 3 significant digits, and the answer is a 10K is 6.22 miles. Okay, this is where the chemistry students will stop. Honors, you're going to have one more problem. So standard chemistry students, you're done. Honors, hang around. All right, honors chemistry. We're going to do one more problem. And this is a problem where we're going to be changing units not only in the numerator, but also in the denominator. And the same principle applies. We just want our units to cancel to get the right unit where we want it. All right, a car is advertised as having a gas mileage of 15 kilometers per liter, and we would like to know the gas mileage in miles per gallon. And so here are the conversion factors we need to use. There's 1.094 yards in a meter, and there is 1.06 quarts in a liter. All right, let's see. I think we're going to need one more conversion factor. Yeah, there is 1,760 yards. Is in 1 mile. Okay. Again, all of these conversion factors would be given to you. I'm just going to go ahead and slide this board off to the side, and I'm going to write on the board behind it. All right, we're going to start with what's given, and it's 15 kilometers per liter. So the liter is in the denominator, and the kilometers is in the numerator. We want this kilometers to get to miles. So why don't we work on that first? So we're going to put kilometers in the denominator to get rid of it. And just like the last problem, we're going to have to convert to meters first. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. That's an exact number with infinite sig figs. This is something you need to know. Then we know that there are 1.094 yards in a meter. Notice the kilometer is canceled here, and now our meters have canceled. And now we're going to continue on with going to miles. We want miles. And we're going to put yards down here. There is, in a mile, 1760 yards. When we do all of that math, we will get a value that will tell us how many miles we have, but our denominator is still in liters. Okay. After converting our kilometers to miles, we wound up with 9.3 miles per liter. I'm keeping it to 2 significant digits because 15 was 2 sig figs. But we wanted miles per gallon, so we've got to change a unit in the denominator. And so here's what we're going to do. It's the same method as we use with changing something in the numerator. We don't want liters in the denominator, so we're going to put it in the numerator so it will cancel. And we had a conversion between liters and quarts. And a liter is 1.06 quarts. So now we would have the unit miles per quart, but we wanted miles per gallon. And we know that there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Our gallon is in the right place. It's in the denominator. That's where we want it. The quarts, it was in this denominator. In the numerator here, it cancels. And now, this is an exact definition. It won't limit our significant figures. When we do this math, we end up with our final answer of 35 miles per gallon. So again, the units are just helping us out. They're just telling us where we need to put our next unit. So here we wanted to get rid of liters, so we put liters here, and we had a conversion factor between liters and quarts, and then we did quarts to gallon. We just put all the pieces together, and we come up with our answer. We're going to really be practicing this in class, so I hope you've copied all these problems down. You could possibly rework them and see if you can get them on your own. We're going to practice in class, and we'll see you on Monday.